The year is 1861. A French warship in the middle of the Atlantic hauls up a strange, tentacled creature from the depths. It's enormous, with eyes the size of dinner plates and arms longer than a man is tall. Scientists take one look and declare it one of the most terrifying monsters of the deep sea. They name it the giant squid and immediately start calling it the real-life kraken, a ship-sinking beast from ancient legends. For over a century and a half, that image stuck hard. Documentaries, books, movies, and YouTube thumbnails all agreed. The giant squid was a colossal, aggressive hunter that battled sperm whales in epic deep-sea wars and could drag entire ships underwater. Except, almost everything we thought we knew about it was wrong. And that's just the beginning. Because the deeper you look at the so-called monsters of the ocean depths, the more you realize a shocking number of them have been completely overhyped. Some were slower than we thought. Some were weaker. Some were pickier eaters than your average house cat. And some were basically just very large, very specialized animals that got lucky for a few million years before reality caught up with them. Let's start with the one that fooled us the longest, the giant squid. For centuries, sailors told horror stories of tentacles dragging entire ships to the bottom. Even modern documentaries loved to paint it as a colossal, aggressive hunter locked in mortal combat with sperm whales. The arms are real, the size is impressive, but the behavior, that's where Hollywood took over. When scientists finally managed to film living giant squid in their natural habitat in the early 2000s, the footage revealed something surprising. These animals are actually quite sluggish. Their massive bodies are built for floating and drifting more than high-speed chases. Their tentacles are powerful for grabbing, but they're surprisingly delicate and easily damaged. The famous battles with sperm whales. Most evidence suggests the squid is usually the one trying to escape, not the aggressor. The giant squid wasn't a sea monster. It was a giant, slow-moving snack that happened to evolve enormous eyes to spot predators in the dark. If blurry old drawings and a few washed-up tentacles could create such a myth, imagine what happens when we actually study these creatures up close. Take the colossal squid, the even larger cousin that lives in the icy waters around Antarctica. For years, it was hyped as an even more terrifying version of the giant squid, with hooks on its tentacles that could rip apart anything. The hooks are real. Thighs is real. But recent research shows it's also a relatively slow, deep-water ambush predator. It mostly feeds on fish and smaller squid rather than engaging in epic battles. It spends most of its time drifting in the cold, dark depths, conserving energy in an environment where food is scarce. The ultimate deep-sea nightmare turned out to be a highly specialized giant that prefers to wait patiently rather than chase. Even the famous Kraken stories have been exaggerated. Many historical accounts of ships being attacked by giant tentacles were likely encounters with giant squid that were already injured or dying and had floated to the surface. The squid wasn't hunting ships. It was simply in the wrong place at the wrong time, and terrified sailors turned it into legend. But my favorite overhyped deep-sea monster might be the one that looks the most terrifying on camera, but is probably the most pathetic hunter in real life. The goblin shark, with its alien-like protruding jaw, needle teeth, and pink, flabby skin. It's every horror movie director's dream. Documentaries love to call it a living fossil and a deep-sea nightmare. The reality is almost funny. This shark moves extremely slowly. Its famous jaw shoots forward like a slingshot, but only for a very short distance and at relatively low speed. It's built for sucking in soft-bodied prey like shrimp and small fish in the pitch-black depths, not for chasing fast swimmers. Those creepy teeth. They're fragile and mostly good for grasping slippery, soft creatures. If it misses or bites something too tough, it risks damaging its only hunting tool. The goblin from the abyss is basically a slow, awkward vacuum cleaner of the deep sea. And then there's the one that might be the most embarrassing of all. The giant oarfish, the long, ribbon-like fish that washes ashore and immediately triggers sea serpent panic. For centuries, sightings of these creatures were blamed for every sea monster legend. In reality, the giant oarfish is a weak swimmer that spends most of its time drifting vertically in the deep ocean, feeding on tiny plankton and small squid. It has almost no muscle for fighting or chasing. When it gets caught in currents or storms, it often ends up stranded on shore, looking dramatic and dead. The serpent of the sea was mostly just a very long, very fragile drifter that looked scary when it washed up on a beach. So why do we keep getting these ocean creatures so wrong? Because the deep sea is incredibly hard to study. Because dramatic footage and scary illustrations get more clicks than boring ones. And because we love monsters. They are highly specialized, often fragile, heavily dependent on very specific conditions, and surprisingly vulnerable when the environment shifts even a little. We see this pattern repeat across the oceans. The sea monster or apex predator label gets slapped on animals that were just really good at one narrow niche, until the oceans changed and that niche disappeared. Evolution doesn't care about looking terrifying on camera. It cares about survival. And survival in the deep sea often means being extremely good at one specific thing, rather than being the best at everything. The next time you watch a documentary calling some deep-sea creature an invincible monster of the abyss, remember this. Marine biology is full of humbling lessons. Almost every nightmare from the deep we've hyped up has turned out to be slower, weaker, pickier, or more fragile than we originally believed. And that's exactly what makes the real story so much better than the myth. It reminds us that nature is messy, opportunistic, and rarely follows the neat Hollywood script we want to write for it. The real deep ocean wasn't a battlefield of unstoppable sea monsters. It was a dark, hypersur world full of weird specialists just trying to survive with the strange bodies they had. Many of these creatures were ecological specialists that thrived in very specific conditions, only to vanish when even small environmental shifts occurred. Their overhyped status often says more about us and our love for dramatic monsters than about the actual animals that once swam the seas. In the end, the ocean continues to hide secrets that challenge our assumptions, reminding us that the most terrifying legends are often built on fragile truths, and that the deep sea still holds many mysteries waiting to be uncovered. The more we explore, the more we realize how little we truly know. Perhaps the greatest lesson is that the ocean, like the prehistoric world, is full of specialists that thrive in narrow niches until the environment shifts and forces them to adapt or fade away. Just like Megalodon before them, many of these deep-sea giants may one day become nothing more than fossils and legends if the oceans continue to change faster than they can keep up. The deep sea is a constant reminder that size and scary appearance don't guarantee survival. Adaptability does. And in a world where our own oceans are changing rapidly due to climate change and human activity, the story of these once mighty creatures serves as a timely warning. Even the most fearsome giants can disappear when the delicate balance of their world is disrupted.